Hey guys, what's going on? It's me SFPULS3, and I'm coming at you guys with some exciting news from WWE. So on Twitter, they just announced that they're going to be holding a global Cruiserweight series. It's a tournament that's going to be on the WWE Network, and it's going to premiere on Wednesday, July 13th at 9 p.m. And it's going to be a 10-week tournament, and it's going to have 32 competitors, and they all have to be under 205 pounds. It's going to be at Full Sail University in Orlando, and honestly, if I could figure out the taping, I might go out there just to see that, I might stay in Orlando for a few months and check that out. No, I can't do all that, but I'd love to do it. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video is, one, to announce it, because I think that's awesome that they're doing a global Cruiserweight series, and I wanted to talk about who I think might be in it. Now, you obviously can't have people who are contracted, right? You can't have people that are in New Japan because they're contracted in New Japan. So that, no Kushida, no Kenny Omega, nobody like that. You can't have people that are contracted. Well, and it's weird because this kind of falls under something a little different, because if I read correctly on some of the contracts people have with companies like Lucha, they can't appear in promotions that are on TV. Now, this is on the network, this isn't on television, but I still think, it's the WWE. They'd be like, you can't, we're not going to do that. So you can't have people who are contracted to Lucha up there either, so that probably means no Ricochet and people like that. And you have to remember also that the in-ring competitors have to be under 205 pounds for this. So, no Chris Hero, no Brian Cage, nobody that's over that big weight, which brings up my issue with the whole cruiserweight thing. I honestly, I enjoy the X Division side of it. One, it doesn't bill them as cruiserweights, so they could, believably go for something else, and not be stuck into that cruiserweight championship line. And two, you have people who, like Brian Cage, who wrestle like a cruiserweight. If he wants to, he can also be the powerhouse. And he's huge, you know what I mean? So that's my issue with the whole cruiserweight thing. I wish, we didn't have to bill people under 205 pounds to be in this tournament, because I'd love to see Chris Hero and stuff in it. But here are some people that I personally think would be cool in this tournament. I think, I don't know if you can do Trevor Lee, because I believe he's contracted under TNA right now. So I don't think he could be in it, which is super, super sad to me, because I love Trevor Lee. He's a Carolina boy, so I'm a big fan of Trevor Lee, but I don't think he's going to be able to be in it. But we're in this thing with Matt Sydal right now, where Matt Sydal's not signed anywhere. He's still waiting and kind of checking everything out and seeing what's going on with everything. So he's not signed to Ring of Honor. He's not signed to New Japan for anything long term. I don't think he signed like a multi-year contract or anything with either of those companies. So we could see Matt Sydal or Evan Bourne in this tournament, as weird as that sounds. And something also weird that goes along with this is we could see Sami Callihan, who just left the WWE. He's not under contract to anybody, and he's working in Evolve again and stuff, and Evolve has the partnership with WWE. So I mean, Sami Callihan could come on to the network, and he could go in there and do his thing. So that would just be so unprecedented to see Sami Callihan leave and then come back. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. So you can also, I guess you could kind of expect Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're probably going to be in it. They've been working NXT. I definitely think they'll probably be in it. Chuck Taylor would definitely be an awesome one, because, Chucky T's been talking about, quitting wrestling, all this, the retirement tour or whatever. But I don't think he's really retiring or anything. But that would be cool to see Chuck Taylor in there, because, it's just, he wants to get in the WWE so bad. I think that would just be cool. You got Mike Bailey, base speedball. He's the man. I'd love to see him in there. That would be awesome. I'm not sure, Joey, from what I saw on YouTube, Joey Ryan's in Lucha now. I'm not sure if, I don't think Joey Ryan's under 205 pounds, to be completely honest. He might be like 215 or something. But if he's under 205, that would be cool. I don't know if he signed like a long-term thing. We're not going to see the Young Bucks, sadly, because the Young Bucks have signed a Ring of Honor contract just recently, so that sucks, Not for them and not for, me who watches Ring of Honor, other people watch Ring of Honor, but, it sucks in terms of the Cruiserweight thing that the Young Bucks can't be in it. But you got other people. You got Will Ospreay, who's been having just an incredible last year. He's been having close to 5-star, if not 5-star matches all over the world. So Will Ospreay is definitely somebody I think they'll probably get in that tournament. Speaking of Will Ospreay, he had a great match with the boy, Zack Sabre Jr. So I think that Zack Sabre Jr. is definitely somebody you should probably go for to get him in there. I think that would just be flat out awesome. Some other people, Drew Gulak and Timothy Thatcher would be awesome. I'm not sure if either of these guys fall under 205. I know Thatcher's really lean right now, and Gulak's lean too, but I'm not sure if they fall under 205, but I'm sure they could cut weight, or, they could just lie. It's wrestling. He's 205 pounds on the dot. They always build Big Show as like 7 million pounds, and this week he's 450, and it's just like, it's completely different. It could literally change at any point, at any time. Marty Scurll is a cool guy they could have in there. He's been doing good work too. But one guy, I'm going to bring this up again. if Speedball Mike Bailey is in this, his stock is just going to go up tenfold. Mike Bailey is the man. Okay, Mike Bailey is the man. He is just incredible. Now, I do wish that people like Kenny Omega, and I'd love to see Brian Cage because I'm a huge Cage fan too. I like to see that guy in there too, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. Brian Cage is a effing machine. You know what I mean? He could, if he needs to get down to 205 in 4 months or whatever, he could probably get down to 205 if he wanted to. This man is a beast, so he could definitely do it. I don't know. Michael Elgin is contracted under Ring of Honor, I believe, or if he's not contracted under Ring of Honor, he's about to be contracted under New Japan in a multi-year contract. So I'm not too sure on that one. But yeah, it opens up the door for a lot of people, man. 32 people. It's very obvious that Triple H has been watching stuff like Bola, the G1, and just a bunch of different tournaments. They've been really popular lately. Tournaments seem to be the thing. G1's been around forever, and so has Bola, but they've kind of picking up a lot of speed here in the last couple of years, and it's very obvious that if not Triple H, someone at WWE is just like completely just watching over this. You've seen a lot of people. I brought up Bola on Twitter because, a lot of WWE guys, including not even just the guys, Becky Lynch was at a PWG event recently, but a lot of guys have been going to these PWG events, and it's very obvious that if not Triple H, someone in WWE high up is keeping an eye on it, and they probably saw Bola and they were influenced by it. I'm not saying that this tournament is, this is exactly Bola, you know what I mean? Like, that's just stupid to assume that, but it's definitely probably influenced by Bola and the G1 and Battle of the Super Juniors and stuff. It's probably influenced by a lot of different stuff, stuff like that. But it's very obvious that someone's been keeping up with this, and I think that's awesome. When you look at the WWE network, it's very so a product that is kind of pushed towards the internet fan, which is sort of the smart mark kind of guys, you know what I mean? Regardless of what you think, I think the network needs to be pushed towards people who are smart marks. If you were going to market this to somebody, that's definitely the people that you want to market it to. And honestly, a cruiserweight thing is definitely something that you want to do. When it comes down to cruiserweights and stuff like that, a lot of people have been clamoring for the cruiserweights to return. Personally, my thoughts on it are, if we're gonna bring back the cruiserweights, we should not. I think a television champion would be better for WWE than a cruiserweight, and you can run these guys. Like back in WCW when they had their television championship, you had guys like Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho and people like that going for this championship, right? And when they were in WWE, they are pretty much when they were in WCW, I guess you couldn't say they were built under Cruiserweight and WWE because they kind of won't. But in WCW, they had cruiserweight matches and stuff like that, But I think a television championship would work for that instead of a cruiserweight because it doesn't build these guys as straight up cruiserweights or anything like that. Like they could, I don't know. The TV championship just sounds better to me, just because you could go for it and it doesn't, it doesn't make you seem like a super small dude. Like you could never cut it because WWE is always like that. They've always been like that. You're too small. You do this. And it's sort of become kayfabe at this point with the Daniel Bryan thing where he's like, you're just too small. You're a B+ player. Like you think a guy like you can face off against a 6-foot giant like me? It's kind of become kayfabe at this point. Life imitates art and art imitates life and all that kind of stuff. But television championship would be cool, especially with how much television WWE has nowadays, and even the network. Like anytime there's an event on the network or they're on television or anything, you can defend this championship and have your workhorses go after it. So people like, if you want to bring in Zack Sabre Jr., if you want to bring in, Matt Sydal again or Tommaso Ciampa, these guys can go for the television championship. They're going to give you a good match. You know what I mean? And you don't have to build them as cruiserweights because I don't classify Tommaso Ciampa as a cruiserweight, I don't, people like, even Matt Sydal, the new Matt Sydal, the reborn Matt Sydal, I don't exactly bill him as a cruiserweight. He seems like a believable guy that could, definitely go for a high championship. So I think a television championship would be cool, but that's for another time. Right now, the Global Cruiserweight Series is going on, and for now, I'm totally cool with it. I'm still cool with it either way. It doesn't matter whatever they do. Just as long as they bring in cool guys that are good on the network, that's definitely cool. That would definitely keep me around on the network. Mostly, honestly, for the network, I pretty much just watch the pay-per-views, and then like when I'm going to bed, I'll turn on to WCW pay-per-view and just see what was going on in the first hour, because the first hour of WCW shows were great. They were usually people like Conan, who was awesome to listen to. He was a great talker. Conan and his crew, like the Dirty Animals, or it was like Eddie Guerrero or Chris Benoit or someone putting on a good match, and it was like, okay, whatever, like this is pretty cool to watch. So Stuff like that. But anyways, you know, if they bring in the Global Cruiserweight Series, which is going to be cool, that's 10 weeks that you have people subscribe to the network to watch. That's 10 weeks of keeping people up there. That's like almost 3 months. You know, it's like two and some change right there. So that's awesome. That's awesome. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think about the Global Cruiserweight Series WWE is bringing? You guys can tell me down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already for more of that WWE goes to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!